Uh-oh. Can you tell what's missing?
On this episode of SV Finding Eden, disaster strikes. Could our journey be over before it even starts? Come join us as we take apart the boat to restore our dreams.
It's been a long time getting ready for this moment.
We are close to finishing.
Skylar's never quit!
Oh, yeah!
So we knew it was going to be a spirited day out there today. The winds were about 10, 11 knots roughly. Nothing that this boat shouldn't be able to handle. And we got the main sail hoisted.
And as soon as we started to move the boat, we hear pop, pop, pop.
The clips on the sail bust due to a gust of wind.
The top of the boat was so loose.
So the sail dumped into the water.
The boom fell, and then the little mama screamed.
Yeah, we had to get everyone down below real quick, get safety, get them in a safety position, then go pick up the sail out of the water, retrieve that, and drop the engine and motor back into the port. So,
Meanwhile, everybody else was freaking out. Elias was the master of cool and calm and trying to calm everybody else on the boat. So it was quite the family bonding experience.
Here we are. Now I'm going to roll up the sail and figure out what to do next.
We ended up taking the mainsail home to work on it.
And these sails have never been cleaned since we've had them. Now granted, we've only had the boat for a few months, but the boat was in storage for a long time before we actually bought it. And there was a lot of mud daubers and other kind of junk in the sails. They're really good sails. They're new, but they're very dirty. We're going to try to fix that today. What we have also today to complete this task, of course, the big red bucket. Important for holding water. We have generic dish soap. For those tough spots, some extra grease cutter to try to help us get some of that really nasty junk off. And then of course, the broom. Okay, so that was a lot of manual labor. We scrubbed the entire side of the sail, both sides, and we hit the tough spots with a little Lysol that had a little mildew on it. We used grease lightning for the tough spots that looked like it was grease, and we still had a lot of stains on the sail. So I upped it up a notch and used some OxyClean, which is not supposed to be very abrasive for fabrics, and we use that on the sail as well, and that really did a good job. I'm not really willing to go any harsher than that. We want to maintain the integrity of the sail, So we're going to leave it as is now after a thorough rinsing. What we have to do next, however, is hang it up to dry, just like your laundry. So that way it doesn't get more mildew into it. And so we're going to hang it up. We're then going to rinse it off one more time because it's just not easy to rinse both sides at the same time here. The suds get underneath and then you got to flip it over, and then the suds get underneath and you got to flip it over. So we're going to stop that nonsense. And we're just going to go ahead and hang this thing. It'll dry and we'll be ready to put it back on the boat.
Best sails are like underwear, whitey-tighty. It looks like to complete this repair, we're going to have to undo this stitch, replace the slug, and then stitch it back up. Recently we blew off the sails off of our 25-foot Catalina, and really what happened is there are these slugs that allow the sail to go up and down the mast. Those slugs were plastic, and they attached to these little clips. And so here's the portion of the broken slug, as you can see here. The other half of this is still in the mast, so that'll be something we fix soon. So what we have to do, we have to take this clip, we have to open it up and take it off the sail. We have to remove the old slug. We have to put on the new slug, and these slugs are actually metal instead of just pure plastic, so we hope they will endure much better. And then we have to put the clip back onto the sail and fasten it securely. So we have to do that roughly 15 times on this particular size sail, and then she'd be ready to go. Now there's a catch. 2 of these clips aren't really clips. They're fabric that has been sewn into the sail. So we are going to have to open up those seams, remove the old slug, put in the new slug, and then re-sew that fabric back down. So that's going to be an adventure for us, something we haven't done before, and we'll see how it turns out. This is the thimble. Really? What am I supposed to do with that? Way too small. All right, and here we are. Sewn the new one back on. Nice and tight, strong, and that should last us for several more seasons.
On our last crazy adventure, we lost our main halyard.
Of our adventure mishap, this was the most troublesome. It left us only with 2 options. We either had to hoist someone up the mast or let the mast down.
The other piece you have to make is the crutch. This is so when the mast comes down, it's held up and it won't rest on the top of the cabin. As you can see, highly skilled construction.
Our wind vane also disappeared since the last time we saw the boat, so we took this opportunity to replace it. Thanks to our friends Charles, Charlie, Andrew, and Dave, we were able to step the mast, re-rig the main halyard, replace the wind vane, and raise the mast again.
It's been a long time getting ready for this moment. Bad weather, parts, cleaning, a lot of work. It's a little emotional finally getting this back on the boat.
We finally have the sail back on and the halyard rigged, and we are ready to sail.
Click the thumbs up and subscribe. And as always, we hope the wind fills your sails.